All right, for anyone out there who has thought that yoga cannot get me strong, I'm not ever gonna get ripped during a yoga practice, guess what? You can think again. I'm about to tell you all about how yoga and HIIT training can get you massively shredded. Now, obviously, I don't train just for the physical reasons of getting shredded, but it's a pretty cool byproduct of putting the time and effort into mastering these programs. So I've written several courses and shot these online courses. I got Steel Mace Vinyasa, I'm actually the founder of it. This is our 160-page manual that we use at teacher trainings. And the online course for this, there's 2 different courses. Each one has about 42 videos. We've got Club Bell Yoga, which I taught seminars globally for many years, hybridizing personal training, yoga and group fitness, and teaching yoga instructors how to become HIIT instructors and HIIT instructors how to become yoga instructors. So it's really a blend of the 2. And then Primal 12, which is kind of like a miniature version of what's called tactical fitness. So we use a lot of different timing protocols, a lot of HIIT protocols. So let's get the books, throw them away, because you don't really need them. I'm gonna show you everything that you need to know to get yourself shredded, because really, we don't want to waste time. We have a very busy schedule. We are moms. We are busy business owners. We are dads. Maybe we're not moms or dads. Maybe we're just people trying to get shredded. But I'm going to give you all the tips, all the tools that you need, literally the tools that you need to get strong and mobile, because that's really the key to tapping into flow state. There's hundreds of exercises, but I'm going to show you just a couple. So we're going to start with a basic Warrior 2 lunge with a club, and we're going to see how that transitions into mace work as well. So your standard Warrior 2 lunge, we've got our club in reverse guard position. You press the club up and overhead, pack your shoulders, squeeze your glutes, tone your legs, bend and externally rotate the front leg. And notice, I want to pack and kind of tear my mat apart under my feet. So this would be level 1, is moving from the reverse guard to the overhead press. So seems pretty simple, seems pretty straightforward. Most folks really lack the ability to externally rotate their thigh under load, so this drill allows the hips to open up quite a bit. And you would want to do a repetition or a round of repetitions on each side. So generally in our HIIT classes, we're working the 90-30 protocol, so you can find any sort of timer, a Tabata timer, a TacFit timer to find those timed rounds, and just make sure that you're hitting your marks. Everything is on and active. Big common misalignment in yoga practitioners is the flat butt. So the butt just stays fully off. But in our practice, we're working on getting the glutes fully engaged as we enter. So that is one simple exercise. Let's make it a more complex. So as you transition from Club Bell Yoga or Kinesiology Yoga into Steel Mace Vinyasa, you're gonna take your movement to the next level, because that's what we're all about. We wanna train the brain, get strong and smart. Lift, open, land, Warrior 2. Lift, open, roundhouse kick, land in a Warrior 2, anticipate the landing. Level 3 would be adding a drop swing. Lift, open, soft landing, drop swing. Option for bow and arrow, and then stack. Now, there's definitely a lot that needs to be able to happen to get you there. So don't worry if you take the Steel Mace Vinyasa online course or you train with us at the Flowshala virtual studio, you're gonna be coached through all of those layers of complexity singularly so that it makes sense to your nervous system and that you don't go into fight or flight. So a couple moves there. Let's try one more open hip conditioning drill. So we've got our Warrior 2 switch. Start in a wide-legged straddle. Pack your shoulders. Notice every exercise works my arms, my core, and my glutes, and my deep hip rotators, which when I compound my efforts, so we're moving from here, Warrior 2, to center. When I compound my efforts, I'm getting way more work done in a small amount of time. So here I'm just priming my rotator cuff. That's level 1. These are super accessible exercises for any body at any age, and there's no excuses. Inhale, back position. Exhale, Warrior 2, pivot the foot out. So I train people in their 40s, 50s, 60s. I even have people training in their 70s at my studio, and all of these movements are accessible as long as you're willing to regress when needed. So here, I'm doing a Warrior 2 switch. I'm pivoting my toes in. I'm coming to either modified or full flag. And then my highest level of complexity would be adding a swing behind my back. Don't expect to start that one right away, but you can definitely work up to it. All right, so you might be saying, Summer, cool, I never do Warrior 2. Why do I need to do that? I'm not a yogi. Well, everyone can benefit from having full range of motion in their hips. Any power sports, any cyclists, any hikers, any snowboarders, any everyday people, gardeners, anyone that wants to achieve functional fitness wants to have full range of motion in their hip and no pain in their hips. So as you train those open hip postures, what happens is the open hip postures in yoga start to become a lot easier and a lot more familiar because you've trained them under a light load, and when you take the load away, what's left is dynamic mobility and full range of motion to the full end range of where your joint can go without pain and without discomfort. So it's pretty cool. You should definitely check it out. Yoga and HIIT classes on the Flowshala virtual studio. Just go to flowshala.com. Got one more really cool drill I want to show you, which is the Warrior 3 RDL. So in classical strength training, the kettlebell RDL, you might be holding your kettlebell. Romanian deadlift is what RDL stands for. So you would be holding your kettlebell, you're hinging down, you're pulling back up, you're training this single-legged balance on one leg. Maybe that left leg comes up. So when you're using clubs or mace, so I'll show the club version, which is from Kinesiolyoga or Kinesiolyoga. Take your trailing leg back, find torque in the legs, find a hip hinge so that you're loading your posterior chain, your hamstring. Notice I have crown to coccyx alignment, and I'm trying to shift my body weight forward over my front foot. Rise up, squeeze the glutes at the top. So this would be level 1. I'm simulating with my back toe what it would feel like to go down into that. If I didn't have a lot of balance, maybe I'm a mature adult and I'm just working on balance. I want to have that little kickstand leg, little helper leg there. Next variation, you hinge forward, and your leg and your trunk stay in one line. You square your hips, you kick through that back heel, lengthen through the crown, tap the foot on the ground. Again, find your hip hinge, loading the base leg, crown to coccyx alignment, pack your shoulders, make your spine in a perfect S-curve. You can tap the foot on the ground, or you can lift your foot with a flexed foot, driving through a straight leg. This glute is fully on. Kick back, find your Warrior 3 RDL, hover and hold. Find those tiny little fluctuations in your feet. Rise up, tap, or lift. Level 3, press your club out, arms out, fully straight. Square the hips, pull it back up. And if you were training with mace, because we all love mace, mace are just the hottest thing on the market right now. Everyone wants an ancient tool. I love it. It's like a dream to me that this is finally happening. You have no idea. Okay, so we can take a crossbody over grip and hinge forward. And notice I'm kind of marrying this arm towards my hip, holding, flexing the foot. You can tap, you can drive up, find an uppercut. Generally, I just kind of tend to go here to here. Load. Extend through that back arm, hold, resisting rotation. Your hip is gonna wanna go out, but you gotta close it up and keep it squared. And then, after we've trained that drill with a light load, guess what? We come to our yoga practice. Let's say we're in a flow. We're taking Warrior 1, and we're coming into the Warrior 3 position, or airplane. Got a lot more strength, a lot more endurance. You can hold this for days. Literally, drink some tea, have some coffee, call your friends. The whole point is we want to get stronger in the yoga poses so that we can access them with ease and work on our functional fitness. Maybe you're not doing Warrior 3, but I'm sure there's a lot of things in your sport and in your life that require you to have good balance. So even if you're not a yogi, you can truly benefit and get shredded from doing these yoga-based conditioning exercises. So you know where to go, flowshala.com, find us on the Instagrams, leave a comment below if you have questions. I'm here to help, and I'm excited to hear how this goes in your movement practice.